Well, here we go. Club 52, chat on El Shaddai. So let's get a few people in. We're still waiting for one, but he says he's on his way. So let's pop in, no particular order.
How
Now,
do?
Ross, bahaha.
You alright? I'm just double checking to see if it is definitely live. It hasn't started on mine yet.
It might be a few.
Oh, now it has. There you go. It's just popped up.
Pop John in. Who's John? John Bunday.
Blessings upon you, children of God. I, the Archangel John Bunday, come to bring you the word of our Lord God via the medium of El Shaddai.
There we are. So, yeah. El Shaddai. I played it on the 360, and Ross played it on the 360. John played it on PC as usual. You played the HD remaster.
Correct.
And, well, when our fourth person pops in, I don't think it's too far off. We'll find out what he played on as well. Yeah. So, welcome everyone who's watching either live or after the fact. Here we go. Here's our fourth. Let's pop him in. So, it's Gib84. It's Gordon.
You all right, guys?
Howdy.
All good.
Good.
So we just said what we played it on. I believe, did you play it on the PS3, Gordon?
I played on PS3, aye.
On PS3. So we've got, between the four of us, 3 different versions of the game, as it were. I believe Eddie played it on the Switch as well, which would have been interesting to get some feedback on. I'm not sure if Eddie's going to join us or not. We'll see. But yeah, so quick rundown of what it is and why I picked this game, I suppose. Let me click that over there. But yeah, so we started again with the wheel. We all picked 3 new games. We had it added to a spinning wheel, and then once a month ish, once we've had time to play the game, we have a stream like this. We discuss the game, spin again, and pick a new game for us all to play. So obviously this one was El Shaddai, and it was one that I picked. I have previously played this a little bit before. It was literally just the intro. So it was one that I had in my backlog that I kind of was interested in when I played the intro, but then never went back to it. So whilst looking for 3 new games, browsing my shelves, I came across this, thought perfect chance to actually give this game a go. Added it onto the list. I know a few people had it. I think Gordon yourself, you purchased it for this reason.
I did.
He had it and then sold it and then had to buy it again. Which I think he does with every game on the wheel, to be fair. So yeah, it is quite a biblical game. It's fair to say, I think. I am not biblical at all. Like, nothing against people who are into religion and stuff. I am just completely not religious. So I've not picked this game for religious reasons. It was just a game on the shelf I randomly picked out. So yeah, a lot of it was probably lost on me because I have no interest in that thing. But our Lord Master John will fill you in on all that is needed to know about the ascension of the Metron. So if you want to go for it first, John, and then we can have our discussions on what we thought of the game.
So, where do we begin?
At the beginning of time.
You play as Enoch, a human farmer who was picked by God to become a scribe in heaven. Many years later, you have been picked to go down to earth and retrieve/imprison 7 fallen angels. And you shall have someone who will help you on your mission by the name of Lucifer, dressed in black. Also talks to God via a mobile phone, because time is not a straight line. I do find myself, though, questioning why God, an omnipotent, powerful being, requires me, a lowly human, to go and retrieve these angels rather than, him just snapping his fingers and doing it for himself. But hey, I suppose some people like to, offload their work to someone else. So, delegation, yes. Delegation is key. I suppose if you're ruling the universe, you need someone to deal with some of the other bits. Anyway, so you go down to not Earth. This isn't Earth. This is something from before Earth, which we'll cover later. And so the 7 angels fell a while ago, and they have entrenched themselves. They've built a mighty tower, and they have been getting freaky with the locals. So you get to the tower, and then you find these weird white blobby creatures going around. They are the children of the angels and the humans. And because they are children of these two, they know the pain of being human, but also they can't die. So all they do is end up eating each other. Literally, they just eat each other and grow bigger and bigger. But then if the angel who created them dies, then they die as well, all of them. So fun times. And there is a little bit of horrificness with that as you go through the game. But anyway, you make your way through the tower, defeating these angels. We'll cover the combat later. We will cover the combat later. And then eventually you make it to the top of the tower. And the game has a anticlimactic ending, as it turns out the final angel died during the fall, as well as a different one who fell during the fall.
Just gonna
And
stop
then
for
you're
1 second, John. Just so people know that noise in none of our stomachs. Whilst the dog is asleep under his chest. Just get that out of the way. Sorry, John. Continue.
That's fine.
Sorry, it's just me riding with my washboard abs.
So as you've made your way through the tower, defeating, well, the angels, again, like you don't actually defeat all of them. One of them, turns out, has been eaten, and you're actually defeating its child. And another one is gets sucked down into the darkness after they rescued you. So, you know, thanks for that. And yeah, the game ends on anticlimax, because then if you have the HD remaster, you get given a PDF, a 148-page PDF that explains the rest of the story, which I'm guessing everyone here has read. Just me then. So, okay.
I just have to say though, a religious game giving you a PDF at the end, it is like the digital version of the Jehovah's Witnesses banging on your door.
Yep. So, okay, it turns out that the reason why the story is a bit all over the place and a bit unfinished is because they did actually run out of like development time / money, so they had to get out of the door. And reading the PDF does help clarify a bunch, but also makes it seem like there was meant to be double the game, like, because so it turns out that you end up staying on Earth, sorry, not Earth, with Ishtar, a woman that we met during the game, and then eventually Lucifer decides he wants to fall as well, and you join him on his quest, and the two of you release the 7 angels that you've held captured, even though some of them I'm sure were dead, but okay, why not? And then you go and take on heaven, and you almost help overthrow heaven, but then suddenly you have an epiphany and decide to go against Lucifer, and then so Lucifer becomes the devil, and the earth gets, you know, created properly. So everything that's existed is redone. So the world that you've known is gone, and the earth is created, and so forth and so forth. There is more, but I feel like I've probably bored people enough. So
that would have been a much more badass game.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that from the game, and yeah,
there is more.
The story kind of just washed over me, and I was just there to beat stuff up and get to the end.
Like,
yeah, I was just stabbing things and looking at weird spunk children. I thought, what the hell is that thing?
Because do you remember at the end of when you fought the fire spunk child, and there was that big rock land island that came out of the sky? That's the previous world, you know, before Earth, and the big ball that you found in the darkness with like the mechanical ball that kept spinning around, that is its counterpoint, which wasn't picked to become the new world and sunk into darkness. That would eventually become the Earth in the future. Exactly, yes. Yeah.
How did you find the time to read this PDF?
Fine enough, random times, like when I was at the park with my kids and they didn't need me to watch them, so read through a few pages. So
that and the bog, that's the only times.
I mean, to be fair, some of the pages, it wasn't just 148 pages of text. There was like some of them were pictures, and some of them where if a chapter kind of ended or a paragraph ended, it might be like the rest of it's a blank page. So
I did skim it. I saw that the first 7 pages or something were blank. So I was like, oh, I could get through this.
Yeah. But they did retcon the ending of the game. So where I said Semyaza, sorry, the final angel called Semyaza, who wasn't there, turns out that gets redone and they are there and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so big fight at the end of the tower collapsing. You get decimated, turned into atoms, but then you learn to control matter, so you bring yourself back together. You are pulling the tentacles of the tower and turning them into huge arches, one of the weapons, to fight, and like some badass stuff is going on. Not in the game though. So
You know, if they got the money to remaster it, why couldn't they have just finished it?
Yeah.
I guess there's a difference between remastering versus adding new content.
DLC. That's what DLC is for.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have a quick run around the square. We'll have a quick, brief shout of our thoughts, what we thought about the game, and then we can get into some gritty details about the game. So we'll start with Ross, and briefly your general opinion on the game.
I wasn't overly fond of it. It's one I'd started before. Like you, I'd put it in for a bit. I think when I picked it up again, I was at chapter 4, so I didn't have to suffer the entire thing in one run. It's all right. I enjoyed the fact that the combat's all right. I don't mind it. But where I was going back into the game, it took me a while to realise how to actually play it. I didn't know there was rhythm to the combat, which changed things up until about towards the end when I was getting like destroyed by things. And I didn't realise that I don't think you can die in the game technically, because you can always keep bringing yourself back.
Yeah, you can get a game over.
Yeah.
You work so many times.
Oh,
Right.
yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay, I never died enough to get a game over.
I got the achievement for bringing myself back about 50 times.
Annoyingly, I think I died once, which nullified the no dying achievement for me, which wasn't
Same, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's almost like a action Devil May Cry kind of game, isn't it? With some absolutely horrendous platforming and a really cool driving section.
Deliberate, because one of the creators worked on the Devil May Cry series.
Okay,
fair enough.
I didn't go for all the achievements on it. I was one and done.
Yeah,
that's. I might go back to it, but very,
There's
very
some filth if you go for the achievements.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, brief thoughts on the game, your experience?
A mixed bag, let's be honest, it's a mixed bag. So I found that the artistry of the game, as in like the colors, like the graphics and things, I thought was at times like very beautiful. Like it's a good looking game in that regards. I can kind of see what they're trying to do with the story. Like, you can get a lot out of a game. Like, for example, God of War, it's not this, but in the sense of like the old gods, and all that kind of stuff, mythology. So having kind of like a slightly kind of Christian version of that, on paper does make sense. But it kind of feels like the publishers went, we want a 3D fighting game with, slash platformer. The devs wanted to make a 2D platforming game and had to meet in the middle. Because it does seem at times like they're trying to mash the two genres together.
Yeah, there's a lot of genres being mashed in the game overall.
Mm-hmm. And the places it works best is definitely the 2D platforming for me. That felt the most tight. Whereas when you got to the 3D platforming, like, Jesus Christ, like, I think I made a joke in the WhatsApp chat about like where, Enoch has to go and fight the 7 fallen angels and face his greatest challenge yet. 3D platforming.
Yeah, the depth perception was to be desired.
Yep, because no joke. So on the final stage, where you have those. If you remember the final level where you have the swinging pendulums and you kind of work your way up, and you have to fight enemies in between each time going across the pendulums, and the final round is where you have to go across the very top of the pendulums. So I struggled to defeat the enemies first, and there's no save point between defeating the enemies and having to do the platforming. So I was at very low health, and I got near the end and then fell to my death because I had the last bit of health and was done. And I was just like smashing the table, like swearing profusely, going like, and then like, having to redo it because by that point the enemies were just like getting very spongy. Oh yeah, throughout the game, the enemies at times can be incredibly spongy to deal with. I mean, I played on normal. I don't know what difficulty everyone else did at all, but
I think it might have been easy because I think whatever I started it on beforehand.
Same, I think it was probably easy because I just wanted to get through it and try and get some achievements. There is difficulty specific achievements, but you have to complete it on the lower difficulties to unlock the higher difficulties anyway. I don't know if that's the same on the HD remaster. So
yeah, so
you only really have the option of, I think, easy and normal, and then you have to complete to get the harder spot. One knows what, just go on an easy.
Yeah, then you unlock like a score attack and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, easy and normal there, then you unlock higher difficulties as you go, which I will not be doing. But and then there are some other things that just annoy me as well. Like, you know how back from the 360 or the PS2 and PS3 generation of unskippable cutscenes and having a save point, then unskippable cutscene, and then like things like that. It's just at times it's just like skip, and don't do it. But yeah, but about Gordon, what did you think? I think I've talked for long enough.
Gordon,
I thought the game was really good. I enjoyed. I think it was a good game, but I think it was lacking it was just lacking something to make it a fantastic game. I liked the art direction of everything. I liked all the kind of pastel, cel shaded kind of look. I liked the variation in the gameplay, but in that as well, each variation of the gameplay was very bare bones. Like the 2D platforming was just very bare bones. The racing part was really bare bones. Like there wasn't much to it, but I liked it.
We'll get to level 6.
Yeah, it kept it kind of fresh every time I played it. So every time that you go through the kind of fighting part, and then you get to a 2D platforming bit, and I thought I thought it was really good. And it kind of freshened it up every time I played it, and I liked it. I thought it was kind of. It's got a kind of Suda 51 kind of feel to it as well, but
yeah, almost.
But not as silly and bizarre as Suda 51. So I think it kind of lacked that. At least that had a bit of what's the word? A bit of character. Like Suda 51 games. This one was a bit too serious for its own good, I think. But it was good. I did enjoy it. I don't think it overstayed its welcome. But like John was saying, like it finished. And you could feel that it was an unfinished game. And then you get the PDF to read if you want to read the PDF. But I didn't get the PDF, so I don't think I'll read that. But no, I did. I thought it was really cool. A lot of cool ideas. There was a really cool part that I really enjoyed was the bit where Enoch was taken. I think he died at one point, and you went the previous boss, and you went in to save Enoch. I really liked that. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, when you played as one of the angels.
Was it
Arboros?
Arboros or something like that?
Yeah, Amboros. When you went down.
The dancing guy.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a cool twist on it. But then Enoch just left him down there to die.
That whole dancing scene was weird.
Yeah,
because you're fighting it, and then he comes up to the screen. It's like, man, just
you're trying to fight in the background. He's blocking the screen.
But I liked that. I liked that boss battle, and then I liked the level that followed it. I thought that was a cool spin. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I've got a list of levels and names that I gave them, which I'll go through in a minute and I run through. But we've got Eddie in the comments. I guess he's not coming. Eddie, come on. Eddie, jump in. We need to know your opinions on your brief play. Who's your daddy and what does he do? Let us know.
I think with Amboros going into the darkness, just because spoiler alert, but I've already been spoiling this game, that he then becomes the final boss because he comes back from the darkness as the final boss. I wonder if they deliberately did that because they realized they couldn't finish the game how they wanted, but we need a final boss. Well, we've got our friend who left in the darkness. Let's make him come back and be the final boss. So
yeah, maybe they just wanted to wrap it up.
Yeah, so maybe that was why. Like, maybe he wasn't meant to just end like that, but they suddenly had to have a final boss. And yeah.
See, I didn't really know who any of the characters were. I was trying to if I tried to think who they are, I looked back at him. One of them looked like George Washington in drag. One was one was the incredibly camp dancer. I can't think of any other ways to. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
I think the best level was the Tron level. I really liked that. That
Oh.
was cool. That was so
Yeah.
good. But I've been playing a lot of Sayonara Wild Hearts, so that just kind of reminded me of that part. So it's really cool. I like that.
I think that kind of shows what the game could have been, because as each angel has their own floor of the tower, and so with this one of them, it is the angel decided to allow humans to keep evolving, not as in like our physical forms, but as in like start making technology, evolve that way.
Yeah.
And so suddenly we've got like the Tron level where you're going through like a high-tech city on like a Tron bike, and then you got like these machines chasing you, which then transform, and like it was very epic. But that's something that they could have done throughout the entire game, where each level was a unique style based on what the angel wanted to do. Whereas a lot of them, okay, you had a water level or a fire level, but it was very bare bones, and it was always the same gameplay.
Yeah.
Whereas that level showed you like if they had had the development time and money, they could have made each floor so unique, show off like more capabilities, I guess. But
Talking of uniqueness, it does actually change up like different styles of music as well per place, doesn't it? Like that one I like because it had a pretty heavy kind of rocky, metally soundtrack to it. But the only thing I have to mention about the music was every time, like in the background of scenes, it's the same tune that is used to transition scenes in Father Ted, and it kept sticking in my head.
Oh yeah, the you know where you finish a chapter and it goes to the next one. Is that the one you mean, or are you talking about a different one?
I don't know what the name of the song is. It's literally, it was just randomly in the background. But like when it transitions scenes in Father Ted, there's like a little jingle it plays, which I guess must be an actual religious song, but it uses that in the background.
Well, because when I was playing it, whenever it would finish a chapter and it would give you like while it loads the next one and give you some text, if you were to blindfold me and put a gun to my head, I would have told you that music was from something like Super Giant games, you know, like Transistor or Bastion, something like that.
Mm.
That just felt to me was like from their soundtracks, not from this. They just
it
was
weird.
It was good music, but I'm saying like it just seemed like it was one of theirs.
I think it's put me even more off if that's possible. Yeah, I don't know. John, you've now read the entire Bible back to back. Are you now converted, or were you?
So let's see. I feel like seeing what they wanted to do with the game, like here reading the rest of the story, they were trying to be very. This is a good way to phrase it. They were trying to be very epic. Like they were trying to go huge with this idea of like a war between heaven and like fallen angels and like friends turning each other. Like at one point, like he talks about like you're ripping body parts of each other, and you've got tens of thousands of angels going to war against each other and all that kind of stuff. And there's none of that in the game because they didn't have the budget for it. So it's reading it makes you see how much of a missed opportunity it was, because I doubt we'll ever get a sequel where they will do this stuff. So instead, we get a game that feels like the like bare bones, like the combat. Like you only have 3 weapons that you can switch between, and it only becomes more difficult because they make the enemies more spongy.
It could have been a cross between, like you say, Devil May Cry and Dante's Inferno. It could have been.
We say the enemies were spongy. I've been wondering something because I never did it. Your weapons changed color the more you used them, didn't they? And you could cleanse your weapons. Was it pretty much like reloading your weapons? Because I just whacked things no matter what. I didn't bother with any of that stroking of the sword that he was doing or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. It makes it slightly stronger, doesn't it? And then the more you use it,
if they use extra abilities.
Down.
Okay, so I was like
one of the things I liked most
time.
about the game was the Persian your weapon. I thought it was quite a unique thing to have. There's not many, or if any, games that kind of have that mechanic, if you like. Obviously, like you said, reloading your weapons, but yeah, the whole, I suppose, getting your weapons dirty or sinful and then purging them to make them stronger. I actually quite like that.
Because I watched somebody beat the last boss after I beat it, because it went on forever. and I never did any of that like purging a weapon or anything. And I was hitting that thing for about 20 minutes straight. I watched a guy beat it in about 2 minutes.
I mean, the other thing as well is that purging your weapon leaves you open to attack. So you have to do it when you think you won't get hit. So it's a risk-reward kind of situation.
So we'll have a quick discussion on weapons. So there's 3 weapons. You start off with the arc, which is basically like a sword. Then you go
See
on
the thumbnail of this video for what it looks like.
Yeah, you can see. Well, it's there. What he's holding in his hand there. So yeah, the arc. Then you have, I forget what the other 2 are called, but the second one is like a ranged.
The Gale.
Gale. It's like a ranged arrows things. Now I use that pretty much throughout the game. I thought it was the best weapon. You can just stand away from everyone and keep them at bay. It kind of knocks them back a bit as well. And then the third weapon is your big, powerful fists. I found for my play style, it's far too slow and cumbersome. I hated it. As soon as I got it, tried it, hated it, never used it again. I think there was one boss where you had to use it because it's his weakness. And then when the weakness is changed, you have to change your weapons up. But yeah, pretty much just used the Gale, the long-ranged arrowy weapon. About everybody else, have a preference? Did you try them all?
I started with the Gale continuously, then I moved on to the arc, and then stuck with that for the whole game afterwards.
I quite liked the combat. I thought the combat was pretty good, but like we were saying earlier, it was all kind of bare bones. Like the combos were all that was it. The combos were the combos. I liked the disarming of the enemies. I thought that was cool. I liked the animation. The animation was really, really cool. But again, it was just very bare bones. They could have disarmed the enemies in a couple of different ways, maybe, rather than just the kind of double kick to get the arc off that guy. But I did think it was cool for the first 2 or 3 times. And I was like, oh, it's all just the same. Everything's just the same.
Yeah, it's because the combat is the same throughout. It's like go into an arena, enemy spawn, you get to a weapon. If there were upgrades for the weapons, or there was more than 3, or things like that, then it would have been better. But you get the third weapon after the first couple of chapters, I think it is, and then that's it, except for getting like a summon ability, and that's it for the rest of the game. There's nothing else.
Upgrades. Throughout the game, you can smash stuff like little pots or whatever, and you get little orange orbs.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they for?
Those power up, as in like they increase the damage of your summon ability. Because if you pause the game, in the bottom right corner, it shows you like the level it's at. I think I got to like level 4 or 5, I think. So.
Sorry, a sub ability. What's a sub ability? I didn't see it. What's a sub ability?
You got it through the game. It's when the Archangel Uriel empowers you.
Oh yeah, so you use a power and he kind of comes down as a ghost form and starts blasting.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think I only used that once.
Got you.
Yeah, they use it that much, to be fair. A lot towards the end, but yeah, it does have a couple of cool big finishes.
Because it's unique based on which weapon you're using or if you're unequipped. So it does change depending on what you're using.
It was the same button combination to bring yourself back to life and use that, wasn't it? So I didn't know whether or not like I could only use one or the other. Hence why I always just came back to life rather than used that.
With the Gale, that was a cool one because it was like a meteor storm that kept on going down. I remember.
Annihilates the room. Yeah,
that was cool. I remember now.
Actually, I think when we talked about before, I don't think we really talked about the bosses that much, actually, because I actually think about it. I think I did mostly like the variety we had with the bosses, because at least they did give you variety that we didn't get with the enemies. So, I mean, what did people think of the bosses?
Forgettable. I remember the big pigs. Pigs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, the dancing guy, Aberos. I remember him. That's the only ones I remember.
I've got a list of the levels. I don't think I've missed any. Probably have, but I gave them all names as I went through.
Sure.
Fun quite thing. So the first one I didn't really give it a name. So the first one is 0-0. It's the prelude to the game, and once you do it, you then go back to the start. You have to do it again. You kind of die and then get reborn. So that's all I wrote for that. Then the first one, all I've put is the graphics were nice. So
Mhm.
just a nice, white, pleasant, calm stroll, getting used to the game. That was all right. Then you go on to the second level, and it's just an LSD trip. It's just someone's popped a fuckload of pills or whatever, and it's just bright lights everywhere. You're almost like you go into a casino or something, following Lucian on his travels, and that's what I had to say on that one. The third one was started off as a quite nice, almost Japanese garden feel to it. It's got this nice little trees and shrubs and swirly patterns in the air and all that kind of stuff. That was quite nice. The fourth one, sorry, I just called it the wobbly knob level. All you've got is these big gaping wobbly knobs with mouths, and I think at the end of the level you have to jump into his mouth. Remember that level?
The
Nice,
Nephilim
nice.
record, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nephilim.
wobbly,
Yeah, that's Spunk Children.
yeah, just wobbly knobs.
They look like them big guys from Loco Roco. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's what they look like. Aye.
They were pretty phallic.
Yeah. Then we had the
Unholy
shark
children
tower.
between an angel and a human. Sorry, Scott.
I mean, spoiler there, Alice. Have you played any game? Let's be honest.
I bet he's played them all, but he's just too pissed to remember.
So level
I say
5,
that cracking
we had the
beers.
shark tower. And then the best level in the game. Let's be honest, level 6. And I did put the Tron level future. It played how I found it, like the section in Final Fantasy VII where you're on the bike.
Yep.
Crossed with
100%.
Wipeout. It was basically a Final Fantasy VII Wipeout level game, and it was by far the best part of the entire game. It was great.
The game it reminded me of, I don't know if anyone has ever played it, is Loco Cycle.
Oh, you've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, you're a sentient bike. It's weird. It's worth playing if you like that. If you like that bit of the game.
And I'm sure what would be Al's favourite level, the water level, the dance stage with every camp guy trying to distract you from fighting the hordes of people behind him.
Yeah, the game went into pure homoeroticism at that point.
Stupid, fuming, and falling off the screen. I don't know I can't remember what Offie's comments are now. So then we had level 8, the Amoros. I just put it was laggy as fuck. Platforming was fucking terrible. I think this is the bit where the depth perception as you're going forward on something was just absolutely horrible. That's where you play as the other guy into trying to get to Enoch. Level 9, it's not really a level, just years pass as you're kind of falling into the whatever it was, and not really much happens. And level 10 was the pillars, the swinging pendulums. I just thought it was shit.
We'd already had the swinging pendulums. It's a big white thing.
You were talking about the depth perception earlier. Something I didn't know which one was passing me by, or if it was one ahead. If you know, so I kept jumping and getting knocked off the side. I'm like, man,
absolutely.
That is the only game I've ever played where you can't tell what is actually swinging like in front of you.
Yeah,
I understand the depth perception of like platforms, but pendulums swinging in front of you, I was like, that my brain can't do this.
That was tough.
I will apologise again. The dog is getting louder.
Yeah, that is Ross's dog, not our stomachs. They should have a beer level. They should have had a beer level.
Who here did the dark portals? You know, the like the challenge areas.
Yeah, I remember you saying in the chat, and not long after you said it in the chat, I found one and I did it. That was, I think, the only one I found though, and it was towards the end of the game, probably level 10 with the pillars, where there's
that's where I found it.
The floors are moving like that, and you have to kind of jump and follow them. And there's one bit where you jump off to the left, and there's a portal there. That was the only one I found.
I found one of them really early on, and then I was like, oh, I can class this as beat because I died. I fell off the stage, and it gives you like end credits. I was like, I'm done. I beat it. Found a secret ending.
So
it's quick.
It
I
was
think I did
a
2 or 3 of them. Aye. What purpose do they serve? What do they do?
so collectibles.
Okay.
You inside of them are the bones of Ishtar, because the problem is you can just get to the top and get out of it and go back to the game, but you
Yep.
can find a collectible within it. So first time I played it, I got out of it and I was like, oh, why? Because it shows you there's this thing in there you can get, and I didn't get it. I went back in, tried to get it, and the darkness coming out from the bottom got me. I got that fake ending, and then like it kicks you back to the save point, and I'm like, so hang on, if I have to keep redoing this, I'm wasting like 5 minutes of my time to get back to retry that section again. I'm moving on. And so, yeah, so I gave up on that after that because if you could just immediately go and retry it, I probably would have done it. But the idea of doing an achievement to do all of those throughout the game, but having to keep wasting your time redoing it over and over just to get
How
back
many
to it.
portals were there? Do you know, John?
I don't. I don't want to say there was one for every level. I think there's less than that.
I think I found 3, so there's more than that probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I feel like I would have found more if there was one on each level because there's not really a lot of places you can go in them. The game is very linear.
Yeah, it's very linear.
There is one bit on a level that I found that you could jump off to the side somewhere and go behind the platform, but there was nothing there. I was like, this is weird. What is the point to this?
Well, I wonder if that's another thing of where maybe they were going to add something, but they ran out of dev time.
Yeah,
possibly.
maybe they were going to add some good game.
Yeah, because there are achievements for speaking all of the freemen and getting their like little notes for getting all the bones of Ishtar, and it unlocks more stuff in the game.
To be fair, I did find
Yeah,
a lot of the notes of the guys.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I mean, at times the game, it was clearly like you said, there's different devs working on different parts, and they didn't really have a dedicated direction of the game. Like obviously, it was 3D platforming combat with 2D platforming combat and a bike race level randomly put in the middle. So obviously they tried a lot of different things. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. Overall, I'm kind of glad I've gone through. It wasn't like Gordon said, didn't overstay its welcome. You can get through it quite quick. I played it, finished it. Yeah. So I add it to the list. It's another one done this year. But yeah, I wouldn't go. At one point, this game did command a bit of a price. I definitely wouldn't be paying high prices for it. If you can get it cheap or in a sale, or obviously now the HD remake's out, you can probably pick one up quite cheap. Maybe go for it. But other than that,
I can't remember the price.
Then.
Yeah,
no, I've seen that. Aye, 9 out of 10.
Incomparable.
Yeah. Well, that's true. It is incomparable to anything. Like
it's just not a 9 out of 10.
I mean, okay. Yeah, to be fair to the game, well, this is the question by the way. To be fair to the game, we're looking at this through the lens of 2025. When that game was released back for the PS3/360 generation, was it more impressive then? Not the looks, the graphics. I mean, like
started it when it came out, like all them years ago, and put it down.
2011.
And my views were the same. When it got picked, I thought, I've played some of this. Do I want to play it again? Not really, but I will.
I did find a lot of the visuals still quite
yeah.
pleasant, like you said, Johnny. I mean, it's quite a visually striking game. But something that Eddie
it
mentioned in the comments,
it filters over it, didn't it? What was the weird? Like the visuals were good, but then there'd be like a cloudy filter. I mentioned it before.
The levels really bad. I think the water level is the worst one.
You know when like you see an old movie and someone dresses up like a mummy and they put the gauze around their face and you see through the gauze? That is exactly what some of the things look like to me. Like this weird kind of patchiness that it didn't move with the stuff. It was just on the screen. So like no matter where you went, it stayed static. I thought that was a bit weird.
I think that's why I put on there. I think it was the Amorous level 8, where it's laggy as fuck and the platforming was terrible. It was because you couldn't see what the fuck you were doing because of that overlay on top of the screen that was just blending in with the other backgrounds, and it was awful.
I think in the HD remaster they dealt with the lagginess, so that might just be potentially the hardware at the time.
Yeah, There's
Oh,
something
I
me and
will mention.
Ross was discussing just before the chat as well as I had one enemy in particular, which was one of the little flying things that fly around that you can just kind of blast. But every time I killed one of them, the game would pause for a few seconds, like it was like counting it towards an achievement or something, and then it would continue. I never had it with the normal enemies, but these little flying things, every time I killed one, the game would just pause and then run after.
Was that in the 2D sections or the 3D?
I think a bit of both. I think they're in both kind of sections, probably more so the 2D.
Well,
There's
it's got to be counting the achievements because I had it with every single enemy. I got to a point that I'd unlocked the achievements for killing a certain number of enemies because I was using my save file. I usually have it on like a memory stick, so I can switch between my Xboxes, but it's an old memory stick. So when I hit the achievement, the game would freeze, then it popped. But after that, every enemy I killed of that type, it would freeze for like 3 seconds and start again. And it started to do my tits in. Literally, I knew the enemy was going to die before he popped because the game would freeze. So I had to back out, move the save file onto the actual Xbox hard drive, and continue to get rid of it because it was doing my head in. Then it got to a point that there's ones for like breaking. It was working for like breaking every one of those like pot things, whatever the things that give you orbs. Yeah, hit one of them, freeze. Wait 3 seconds. I was like, I need to stop this. This is doing my head in. So yeah, weird.
on
But you had
PC, none of those issues.
No laggy on the HD remake then, no.
No, definitely not.
So probably the way to play it if you are so inclined to.
Yeah, don't use a 20-year-old USB stick to hold your save file.
There was no lagging on the PS3 because PS3 is just.
There was no lagging when I took it off of the crappy memory stick.
So, any other comments, thoughts, discussion on any part of the game?
So the subtitle of the game, Ascension of the Metatron. So the Metatron is the voice of God, which way.
Yeah, that does not come up at all in the game itself. That is something that is referenced in the PDF.
So the voice.
Does he have a penis? Sorry, I need to ask because I hope somebody knows that reference.
Well, I was going to say, if you actually want the answer to the question, do you mean Enoch specifically?
The Metatron. I know he doesn't come up, but Alan Rickman in Dogma, isn't he? He's the Metatron.
Yeah, I know, but the angels do not. None of them have gender. Well, actually, no, that's a lie because they have children with the humans, so they have to have. Maybe
they're just rubbing bumps.
But the voice of God in the game is the guy in the black suit with the mobile phone. He's
Lucifer, yeah.
Okay, I thought Enoch was meant to be the Metatron.
Well, bear in mind Lucifer falls in the end, so then someone else has to take his place, and it's very confusing. Just
Aye. But I thought he was quite cool. That guy. I thought
he was. Lucifer was a very very cool character.
There was a bit where one of the angels were dying, I think, and he died, and then he's on the phone and he said, "Oh, they've mistaken me for you again." So obviously he's talking to God on the mobile phone. It was just, I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, that was Sin, the leader of the Freemen.
Aye. So are you God? Aye. No, that was good. I like that. I quite like that. Aye. Some of it was good. Some of the game was really good. Aye.
Yeah, there are good moments in it. So you could see how to phrase it. There are some parts of it which make you see there were a lot of good thoughts or good intentions which went into this game, and they do shine through. But a lot of the wraparound of the game needed more work. It was clearly unfinished.
I have a feeling that my disinterest in religion also hampered my enjoyment of the game. It was just words. I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
I was before I started. I was expecting like Scott was saying, like big grand different levels for each angel, and then a big cool end boss. I did feel like it was all a little bit samey kind of thing.
So how sterile is the next corridor?
Which I think is one of Eddie's comments. Obviously, he put in the chat. that a similar kind of thing, that it's very almost barren and just wading on to the next bit, not much happens.
Yeah.
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 following
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, because for example, you see in a cutscene, there's this huge war that happens while you're in stasis trying to come out of the darkness between the Freeman and the Angels. You know, they've gone to war for ages, and all you don't see any of it except for like in cutscenes. That could have been like a huge set piece that you could have gone through.
Yeah.
They cut that so we could get the epic dance.
Gotta get that dance in there, man. Eddie, if you're still listening, just pop in the comments. How far did you get in the game? And a quick, maybe a thought. I know you wasn't overly keen on the game, but if there's anything else you want to add, Eddie, while we're here and you're listening. I think Eddie was the only other person that played it. I think maybe Paul Link Northerner started it, gave it about
Well, no,
5.
he watched. I think he watched the trailer and noped out.
Yeah. So Eddie got to chapter 2. Eddie had the LSD trip and he was done. Yeah, you were right at the end, mate. I think you can get it done tonight.
Eddie got to the LSD trip and he's just been sat on the sofa ever since. Just that.
I can see through time.
You got to finish it now. You bought it there, Eddie. It's still part of the club. You can still play it in your own time.
I am glad I went through it though. It's been on the shelf for ages, and I like to see the end.
In there.
Yeah.
It was on my wish list before it got picked, so I was going to play it at some point in the future. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
It was one I thought about putting on the wheel before it reset, like originally. Then I thought, nah, I can't do that again. So I'm glad
I quite enjoyed the playthrough. It's definitely one of those 7 out of 10 games for me. Definitely just one of those games that people missed out on. And
Yeah, see, when I picked this up, like I'd never heard of it before, and I was just this was a few years ago now when I was on one of my just game hunts, and just looking, I think I found it in the CX, just browsing the shelves, come across it, thought, oh, I've not heard of that one. I actually got it quite cheap at the time, so I picked it up to give it a go, and honestly, I don't think I've come across another copy other than the one I picked up that time. I'm not saying it's mega rare or anything like that. It's just not one you come across and see that often. And like we said before, I think before the stream, it was quite surprising. It's actually got a HD remake. It's quite an unheard of game, really.
See, that's odd because I picked it up when it first came out, and I found multiple copies in charity shops. And
really?
them on, but that was back when it was worth something.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely an obscure game. Like even the developers and that, I don't know who they are. I've never.
Yeah, I was going to say this actually. If anyone knew anything,
That's pretty cool. Like, yeah,
you've said it now, Eddie. Got to be done. Everyone's seen it.
Like I say, they did. One of the creators did work on Devil May Cry. So
yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
But who is it? Your TV Ignition Games. I've never heard of them before, so.
I've played stuff by Ignition. I don't know who UTV are.
No.
Because it's Crim, isn't it? Is the name of the devs? That's what.
There's Morphine.
I mean, I would look it up, but I'm doing this from my phone, so I don't want to.
There is a logo that's like a black box with incredibly small text that I can't read. So if that comes, that whatever that is, yeah.
I think it says Lightspeed. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the wheel on the screen, so I have to do it from my phone. But
before you do the wheel, though, do we recommend the game?
The what? Sorry, John.
Do we recommend the game?
Like I said previously, if you can find it cheap, if you can get it in a sale or the HD remake, which seems to be the way to go now, if that's what you think, I'm assuming you can get it pretty cheap soon. I don't know how much CX currently sell it for, but I'd imagine the price go down. I would probably give it a go. I definitely wouldn't pay the price as the game was currently or was previously at. And again, I don't know what the price is now. I wouldn't, spend too much on it. But if you can get it for a decent price, even digitally cheap, give it a go. If you're into that style of game, just to get to level 6 and play level 6.
I just checked that CX for 15 quid.
Yeah, I got it from CX 15, I think. It's a lot more expensive on eBay. Like, it was weird. eBay is still at 30 quid or something like that for the game, but CX is 15.
Trust me, I've been looking at a lot of prices recently between eBay and CEX, and there's a lot of disparity there.
Aye.
Kind of mad. I'd say, would I recommend this? Yes, only because I think it's going to be one of those really like Marmite games. I think you could really, really like it. Like, for me, it's also not a genre I really care much for, like action kind of games. That most of them, I end up just bashing buttons and not really caring. But this, I did put a little bit of thought into the combat and started to enjoy it. But I imagine if you did go through it on harder difficulties and tried to actually get good at it, it could actually be really good fun. But yeah, I ain't doing it.
Yeah. I think I would recommend it for a couple of reasons. I think it looks really nice. I think it looks really different. I think they tried a lot of things. They tried to mix it up with a lot of different genres and things like that. So, and it's not long. Like, I don't think it's a big long game. So it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's just nice, a nice kind of playthrough. 11 chapters, I think it was. So yeah. I don't think anything in the game was terrible. I think some
one chapter was an incredibly slow walk.
Yeah, the walking towards the light. Aye, that was. Aye. Yeah, but there was nothing that I thought was like awful about it. It was all right. Aye, I would 7 out of 7 out of 10. That's where I mark it.
And John, reading the PDF, did it make it even better for you?
So I would recommend playing the game on easy, because unless if you want to get good, then playing it on normal at times with some of the bosses, it was just like it was a bit of a slog, like dying over and over again. Because so you were saying, Ross, about like, oh, you didn't think you got game over, but like I was there like because once you die once, or you say die, where you not game over, but when you die once, you can come back very quickly. After that, the amount of time it takes is longer, than after that longer. So it's like the window of opportunity that you have to bash it, it changes. So like you can get back up twice and maybe 3 times. And then like when you're almost finished off a boss, and then it's just like you get a game over, you're just like holding the controller.
I think it was the years of QuickTime events. I was just mashing that fast. Straight back up.
Yeah, QTEs, bane of my existence. But yeah, playing on easy, I think it's definitely worth a go. Like there is a lot of redeeming things in this game, but it is also a lot of stuff where clearly was either unfinished or could have done with more depth. So, but yeah, I mean, if you want another opinion, then because the reason why I had it on my wish list was Martin, the Evolution Gamer. He put up a video talking about it and recommending the game. So go and check out his video if you want someone who was praising the game. So
right, guess we'll find out what we're playing it next. And
Wheel of Fortune.
This is not just for Club 52. It is for everybody. Everybody, please play the games.
Get involved.
Get involved. You're free to come on in the chats, come in the comments, let us know your thoughts on the game that we have randomly picked. So I'm gonna Eddie. Where does Eddie's last comment go? He hopes it's an RPG.
I don't.
Oh, there's no more Pokemon on the list.
I'm gonna work out how to go full screen. There we go.
I'm hoping my game finally appears.
Well, I've took off all of Paul Link Northerners because he never has one picked, so there's no point having it. Not really. And I've took off all of Eddie's because he's constantly get picked. Not really.
Ico.
What's that?
Oh, that's one of mine.
He's Ross's again.
This wheel does seem to prefer some people, I've noticed.
It likes the same people a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, again.
It's going back to Ross.
It's also one I thought I had, but I must have purged it at some point. I've got to buy it.
It was really tiny on my phone. What was the game?
Psyops.
It is one I've got, I think, on the original Xbox. It'd be interesting to. Well, it'd be nice to get that back out.
I might have it on
It's
Xbox.
one I've wanted to play for a while. So
It's a cheap
I think
one,
that's
but
what
I
beat
put
last
it on
year.
there because the amount of times I hear people say it's like their favorite game of all time, it's got to be good.
Yeah,
So
actually, I really enjoyed that playing on the PC. So yeah.
Was there not that it came out the kind of same time as Second Sight, didn't it? Like there was them two games almost at the same time. Yeah, I played Second Sight. That was good. So now it's
that's
time to
another
play
one I wanted to play as well, actually. So this is on obviously the PS2, the original Xbox. I'm guessing PC. Has it had any kind of remaster that we know of that's on more modern consoles for anyone?
I don't
So-
think.
I don't think so. I think it died back then.
Yeah, the
And
PC
what's
you can't buy it on PC. You can download it for free because it was released as like, given as like it was put online as like we're never gonna sell it again, go for it. So if you're a PC player, you can download it for free.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm broke. I might download it on PC.
And do you want to give us a quick rundown of why you've picked this game, Ross, and what style of game it is? Anything you know about it?
To my knowledge, it's a first-person shooter with like some weird powers in it, a bit like Second Sight. And yeah, I said because everyone says it's so good. Like I put it on the list because I thought I had it, but I haven't been all the way through the PS2 collection in a while, and I haven't seen it. But I swear I had it. I swear I had it.
Sounds like right up my street, so I'll definitely be jumping on this.
Yeah, apparently it's also a pretty short game, so I thought it would be the perfect one that everybody could just jump in and blitz through it.
Have you got it, Eddie?
Buzzing. £3 at all? What a bloody bargain.
Easy
Bargain.
for everybody and anybody. Pick this game up if you don't have it. I'm sure a lot of people do have it. And then join.
It's very cheap in
Ross
CEX.
next time, and we will discuss psyops.
£3 it is.
Oh, it is a surprise. It's a surprise. Look, Al's never heard of it. I bet Al can't even pronounce it.
I bet Al's got it.
I bet he has.
He's got it for sure.
So, I don't know. Normally we play a trailer. I've got no idea how to do that. Does anyone want to put a trailer up, or we're gonna leave it?
As I'm on my mobile, I'm afraid I can't.
Let's see if I can find it.
I'm sure possibly still have it on the original Xbox though, Eddie. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a trailer for everyone.
I've got a trailer here. Can I present this?
So share screen, and then Scott will need to, I think, allow it.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
It is not
here
yet.
we go. Our next game.
What's going on?
Fall back!
Captured by a powerful Psi terrorist organization. Your mind
You feel your true self.
has been erased.
You fear to trust your own memories.
It is time to discover
You have the power to stop the general.
your true self. Engage in strategic combat, where your mind is the ultimate weapon, using telekinesis. Pyrokinesis. Mind blade. Mind control. one of IGN's most wanted games of 2004, PsyOps: The Mind Gate Conspiracy.
Best thing is, I thought it was first person. It's third person. It
It
makes me
looks
want to
more
play it
like
even more.
first person, yeah. It looks very kind of time splittery visual to it. I think I don't know if someone mentioned that earlier with the what was the other game? Needs not Still Life. What one did you just say, Gordon?
Second Sight.
Second Sight. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, second sight is first person, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is that not first
No,
person?
no.
That's third person,
Okay,
isn't it?
it's
No?
basically the same game then.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That looks good though.
Looking
I'm
forward
looking
to that
forward to that.
Yeah, looking forward to starting that. I mean, I have just got my Game Pass back and I've started, I think, 6 or 7 games, 3 of them being big RPGs, but I'm getting time to add that into the collection as well.
Shall I see how long it's on? We'll check how long to beat and see how long it takes.
It's usually 6 to 8 hours, isn't it? Them style of games.
"21 years ago." Crazy.
Mhm. Yep.
It's crazy. Man.
Mental, isn't it? Absolutely mental.
Slightly
I think
longer than I was
it's-
expecting. 12 and a half hours main
Wow.
story.
Okay.
I don't remember it taking me that long, but it was a year ago I played it.
So you've played,
you played
it
this one?
already, have you, John?
On the PC I did. Yeah, I did it for Club 52 either last year or year before.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the PS2 just has a lot of loading. It adds all them hours.
Are you going to play it again, John, or just going to give you thoughts on your previous memories?
No, I will pull up my video that I recorded of my thoughts on it to refresh myself, and then I will probably do that. I'm not going to replay it. Not that it's not a bad game, it's just, too much else to play.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If I hadn't played it, I would be playing it. And I would recommend people play it. It is a good game.
Good.
I'll say before we leave, should I bring the thing that's been making all the noise into the screen? So
Sure,
she
the
can
doggy.
apologize. Come on. Wait. Oh, she is zonked out. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on, come up. Come on, come up.
2004. What happened in 2004?
Here's all the noise that's been heard throughout the stream.
There we are.
Beautiful.
Hello, girl.
It's cuteness to the screen.
Oh, she licked my nose and that stinks.
So we have our next game. Hopefully, everyone will join us in playing it and join us again for the next chat on Ross's channel.
Yeah, back on my channel again.
When and where we can bring that. And we just flick between the three of us. Yeah, have you hosted one yet, Gordon?
I've not had a game picked yet.
You've not had a game picked either. Oh.
Nope. Raging. I'm not really. I pick rubbish games. To be fair.
My friend of mine keeps having a go at me for not playing ICO because I tell him it's on this wheel. I'm waiting for it to get picked. And
Yeah,
it's
I
been
wanna
like
go for it again. To
a
be fair.
year and a half now.
Ico's a good one, man. Ico is good.
So yeah, are we ready to end this?
I think sign off, yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Say goodbye.
Anything you want to say, Gordon, with your upcoming ventures? I'd assume everybody knows, but if you want to give a quick plug for your charity stream.
Yeah, no, so charity stream on the 1st of November again this year. Whole bunch of new Titans coming up. I'm going to do an update video real soon and show off a couple of the things that are going to be up for grabs. Buzzing. It was 5 months away now? 6 months away. And,
Good.
To any of
no.
the new Titans who are watching or possibly listening, it's such a good experience. Such a good experience. We had so much fun up there. Hopefully you guys will have as much fun as we did setting it up, doing it. And it's for a massively good cause. Like, props to Gordon for getting this side. Like, true star, mate.
Plus the other guys, you've got to smash our target. You've got to beat us. You've got to.
Yeah, we've got to
That's it.
see it raise
Yeah.
every year.
Aye.
Yeah.
We've got a good couple of stuff ready to go for it, and the guys are looking forward to it as well. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good, man.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that video then, Gordon.
Yep, they're out soon, hopefully.
All right then. We'll end it there. And thanks to these guys for joining us. Thanks for you guys in the comments for watching and commenting. And we'll see you in the next one.
Go
Bye for
in
now.
peace to love
See ya.
and serve the Lord.
Peace be with you.
Oh, I've ended it. No, you have to end it twice.